Well, that crash was annoying, wasn't it? Never mind. I'm back a day later with a cup of coffee and a bit more patience than I had earlier. So I had to do all the shopping bollocks again, all over again, because that's when my last quick save was. So that sucked, but never mind. So yeah, I've got Sean's notes for you. Blades Apprentice. Aha. I didn't click on this last time, and I noticed when I was going back over the footage. I'm promoting you to Apprentice rank, effective immediately. Here's a little present. 2 spell scrolls. The Divine Intervention will recall you to the nearest Imperial Shrine, and the Armsevi Intervention will recall you to the nearest temple. They come in handy for a quick getaway. No, Fathers, no thanks needed. You're doing great work. Now get out of here and let me read. No way, matey. I'm staying right here. It's fucking chucking it down and thundering and shit out there. So yeah, it's not that. For a game of soldiers, I have 1,700 gold. I think, did I last time? I think I might have gone and got training from somewhere. I'm pretty sure I got some alchemy training at the Mages Guild. Maybe I should go do that again. Nice roof garden thing, by the way, with the guard skin, you know, whatever that is, overhang. Bloody hell. Uh-oh. Yeah, you leave me out of this, rat. Got savaged by a beetle on the way here, which was not fun, so... Nice coffee. Anyway, let's duck in here. Away from the monstrously loud thunderstorm. And I'm told, apparently, you can enchant blank pieces of paper and make them into scrolls. I did not know this. And I tell you what, it makes sense. Because why on earth else would you have all those blank pieces of paper lying around in the game? Like there's so many of them, and I guess I just never thought to try and enchant a blank piece of paper before. Tale of the Devious Trader. Yeah, I thought so. That had to be a skill book. I just sort of assumed that you couldn't do that. You had to buy scrolls. But apparently you can enchant your own ones, or you can get a blank scroll from that vendor. Anyway, I believe alchemy trainer person is in here. Let's admire you a bit first and fail miserably. Oh dear, dear me. That's a bit better. As soon as I said that, it just goes downhill. One of these days I'm going to accidentally click Intimidate and I'm going to kick myself for it. That'll do, I guess. Alchemy! Alchemy, that'll do. Right. Ooh, hello, look at that. It's a globe. That's pretty goddamn cool. It's a bit weird. I mean... like, it's a map of Vardenfell on a globe. I mean, that makes no bloody sense, but whatever. We got some reading to do, folks. Oh, right. Yeah, that's why I have so much extra money. I didn't buy the books this time around. Alright then, fuck it. We're going back to Kaiser's then. I'm going to read his copies. I'm not going to buy my own. Sod that. Not until I've got a place to put them anyway, you know. And I've got a little corner of Vardenfell to call my own, then hell yeah, I'll start collecting books and stacking them up on the shelves and shit, yeah. Until then, however. Books are good for 2 things, as far as I'm concerned right now. Reading, and then selling them once I finish reading them. There's the statue again. Still don't know who that's of. One of the saints, probably. Or just a generic statue. Speaking of blank pieces of paper. There you go. There's an example. Right, anyway, Caius. Hope you don't mind. So, the War of the First Council. This account by the Imperial scholar Agrippa Fundilius is based on various Imperial and Dunmer sources and written for Western readers. The War of the First Council was a First Age religious conflict between the secular Dunmer houses Dwemer and Dagoth and the Orthodox Dunmer houses Induril, Redoran, Dres, Hlalu and Telvanni. The First Council was the first pan-Dunmer governing body, which collapsed over disputes about sorceries and enchantments practiced by the Dwemer and declared profane by the other houses. Now you will notice that this book seems to be under the impression that the Dwemer are a Dunmer great house. Obviously they weren't, and if you've played Elder Scrolls games before, you'd know that. But this is one of the things about Morrowind. Most of the history books give you conflicting reports of what actually happened. So it becomes very, very difficult to tell which ones are telling the truth, if any of them are telling the truth, in fact. So that kind of unreliability and what do you call it? Malleability, I suppose, of history is a big theme in this game, and this is a perfect example of it right here. So the secular houses, less numerous but politically and magically more advanced, and aided by northern orc clans drawn in by promise of land and booty, initially campaigned with great success in the north of Morrowind and occupied much of the land now comprising Redoran, Vardenfell and Telvanni district. The Orthodox houses, widely dispersed and poorly organised, suffered defeat after defeat until Nerevar was made general of all house troops and levies. Nerevar secured the aid of nomad barbarian tribesmen and contrived to force a major battle at the secular stronghold of Red Mountain on Vardenfell. The secular forces were outmaneuvered and defeated with the help of Ashlander scouts, and the survivors forced to take refuge in the Dwemer stronghold at Red Mountain. After a brief siege, treason permitted Nerevar and his troops to enter the stronghold, where the secular leaders were slain and Nerevar mortally wounded. General slaughter followed, and houses Dwemer and Dagoth were exterminated. Nerevar died shortly thereafter of his wounds. 3 of Nerevar's associates among the Orthodox houses, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sothasil, succeeded to control of the recreated First Council, renamed the Grand Council of Morrowind, and went on to become the God Kings and immortal rulers of Morrowind, known as the Tribunal or Almsivi. So, there we go. That's the War of the First Council.
I'm all yours. Please, go ahead.
Do be quiet, Caius. That's what we want. Nerevar, Moon and Star. This is a selection from a series of monographs by various Imperial scholars on Ashlander legends. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of Outlanders from the west came to steal the land of the Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and war leader of the House people, but he honoured the ancient spirits and the tribal law and became one of us. So when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors one clan under Moon and Star, to honour the ways of the spirit and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the House people to fight a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many Dunmer, tribesmen and housemen died at the Red Mountain, the Dwemer were defeated and their evil magics destroyed, and the Outlanders driven from the land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nerevar in secret, and setting themselves up as gods, neglected Nerevar's promises to the tribes. But it is said that Nerevar will come again with his ring and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring will make good his promises to the tribes, to honour the spirits and drive the outsiders from the land. So there you go, that's another perspective. Quite a different one to the one in here. That seems to be the Ashlander perspective. This seems to be the slightly ignorant Western Imperial perspective. Quite sure the temple would have a very different one of their own. And speaking of which, I'm going to go pay him a visit. According to Caius, a lot of Outlanders tend to sign up with the temple for the services. And we've not really been to the temple at all. We've had almost no contact with the temple whatsoever. And I think we're curious to see what it's all about. Handily enough, there is a temple right here, so... Temple. See, there you go, if there was any doubt. Shrine of the Tribunal. No, thanks. What are you looking at?
Speak, traveler.
You are pilgrim and layman of the temple. Okay. So... a bit dimly lit in here, but I swear to God, if anyone else complains about the brightness, I will start chopping off heads. It's fine. It's fucking fine. You can see it perfectly well if your monitor's set up correctly. Like all the other monitors and TVs and stuff I've tried this on, just to make double extra super sure that it's viewable. And the thing is, I brighten this game in editing afterwards, which wrecks the video quality quite a bit, but it makes it brighter and less contrasty so you can see what's going on a bit easier on YouTube. In addition to that, however, the gamma correction is actually higher than the default. The default looks like this. That's what the game looks like out of the box when you first install it. I had to go into the options and increase the gamma correction so it was like this. So this is actually brighter than the game's default, you know. But, and yet some people seem to think that it's almost pitch black, I believe one person said. Which is just patently ridiculous, because it's not. Anyway, rant over.
I haven't much time.
Ilan Faeryn, who are you? Enchanter and Initiate of the Temple. What can you tell me about citizens of the Empire? We've had peace and prosperity in Morrowind under the Empire for centuries. It's a government by law, then the legions enforce that law. The Empire has free trade and free religion, so we're rich in pockets and in spirit. Yes, there is corruption. Yes, there are crimes and criminals. Yes, the rich get richer and the poor poorer. But overall, things are pretty good. Morrowind lore? Ashlanders are primitive native nomads living in the wilderness. There aren't many of them. Nerevarine? The Ashlanders have a prophecy that one day a reincarnation of the legendary hero Nerevar will unite the Dunmer against the invaders and restore the ancient Dark Elven nation. But the Tribunal Temple says this is a false and profane superstition, and the Ordinators deal mercilessly with those who profess such beliefs. Rumours? Everyone knows the Balmora Magistrate, Nolus Atreus, is on the take. Thieves, thugs, and murderers are getting ridiculous sentences or paying a drake and walking free. But they'll never get Atreus. He's got fat cats and family back in the city to cover him. Legion champion Larius Varro, over at the Moonmoth Legion Fort, he's sworn an oath to stop corruption, but I don't see what he can do. Outlanders new in Vardenfell do best in Balmora. House Lalo is Imperial through and through, and you get a good mix of native and Imperial people and services. Not as friendly to Outlanders up north in House Redoran country or down in Big Vivek City, and definitely not friendly out east with the Telvanni wizards. Shop the outfitters, then check out the guilds for work. If you want to be adopted by a great house, you'll need a patron, and that's easier when you've got a reputation. So, indeed. Should we wish to join a great house, and we do wish to join a great house, it seems that yes, we have to make a bit of a name for ourselves first. Because they're not just going to accept any old Outlander that wanders into the place. I mean, they will, as far as the game's concerned, but, you know, roleplay. Anyway, I'm surprised I can't ask this guy about the Tribunal or the Temple since he's in one. Let's go can find someone else to talk to. Hello. Person. Excuse me. You're apothecary and initiate of the temple. Little secret. If someone attacks you first, you have the right to defend yourself. If someone doesn't attack you first, you're going to break the law if you attack him. Herpity derp derp derp. You don't say. What do you have to say about the Imperial cult? Nothing interesting, sadly. Right, you're useless as well. Thought I could hear someone talking then, very quietly. Ooh, hello. Silver Viper Blade, eh? Don't mind if I do. And some Diafrost arrows, nice. Whoa. Very nice stuff in these crates. Excellent. Oh, anyway, moving on. Let's have a look at this thing. Nice. It's a natural short sword as well, so it's got a bit more reach on it than our Tanto. I think I'd still probably rather use the, you know, the bound dagger than this, but this isn't a bad substitute, to be fair. Oh, she's praying or something. Hello. You have some fairly ridiculous looking hair.
Quick, Outlander.
I do apologize. You are... Who, exactly? The official religion of the Empire, the Imperial cult, worships the 9 divines. The 9 divines are the Aedra, Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenitar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and the divine god-hero Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. These are indeed powerful spirits, but they are untrustworthy and unworthy of worship, apparently. Shrines are 3-sided trioliths where prayer and offerings are made for healing and blessings. Temple faithful and reverent guests may make offerings at shrines and receive in return a blessing. Foreigners? We don't like foreigners much in Morrowind. This is our country, and we don't like foreigners who come in and steal our land and our treasures and tell us what to do and how to live. Fair enough. Temple. The Tribunal Temple is the native religion of civilized Morrowind. They worship 3 god kings, Almalexia, Sothasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually just call it the Temple. Almalexia, Vivek, and Sothasil are mortal guardians who walked the earth, defeated the Dunmer's greatest enemies, the Nords and the Dwarves, and achieved divine substance through superhuman discipline and virtue, and through supernatural wisdom and insight, apparently. What about the Nords, then? These people are ancient enemies. Like all man races, they are of inferior blood, but otherwise are human in every respect. Are they capable of enlightenment? Do they have souls? Who can say? Good lord. Tell me about Almalexia, then. Blessed Almalexia, the Warden, is one of the 3 immortal god kings of Morrowind, a pillar of the Tribunal and the patron of healers and teachers. Vivek. Vivek was the most gallant knight and the most subtle rogue of the First Council. Sothasil. Lord Sothasil, the Magus, is one of the 3 immortal god kings of Morrowind, a pillar of the Tribunal, and the patron of artificers and wizards. Sothasil was the mightiest wizard and most wise counsellor of the First Council, companion and teacher of Nerevar and Vivek. Sothasil is the light of knowledge and the inspiration of craft and sorcery. Interesting. So, can I join up? Can I join the temple? It doesn't seem to be a thing anywhere about that. Oh, more praying people. Ah, you. Lathino, Lalu. Priest and adept of the temple. Good. Rannis Aethris in the Balmora Mages Guild has something against wizards who aren't in the guild. I think it has something to do with her parents, who were murdered by the old Telbani Archmagister, the one before Gothran. Morrowind lore? Ashlander nomadic camps are groups of small portable huts. They call them yurts. Jolly good. Maybe we better try upstairs. Seems to me joining the old temple is a decent enough way to get in the good books of most of the natives. And it seems like it might have some useful services. Hello! You look official. This looks like a uniform to me,
My time is precious, so make it quick.
Alright. You wish to talk to the temple about necromancers? What? Did I say that? If one wishes to live a life with meaning, one must follow the virtues of duty, gravity, and piety. If you join the temple and follow the examples of the Holy Tribunal and the saints, listen to their wisdom, you will learn how. Like loving ancestors, the tribunal guards and counsels us. Like stern parents, they punish our sins and errors. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among the greatest and least, according to their needs. They're filthy, filthy commies. The oldest of our ancestor spirits we call the Daedra. Though they are powerful and cunning, their hearts and minds have grown distant and strange, and the bad Daedra are dangerous. Who are the bad Daedra, then? The rebel Daedra, the dark Daedra, Molag Bal, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Merun's Dagon. In their arrogance and pride, refuse to keep faith with the tribunal. We call these bad Daedra the four corners of the House of Troubles, and they continue to tempt the unwary into heresy and dark worship. About the saints, then. Each of the greater saints and lesser saints has his own proper sphere of influence. Those worshippers of various walks of life that the saint has the most sympathy and affection for. Some of the greater saints. Greater saints of the temple, listed with their proper spheres, are Blessed Almalexia the Warden, Healers, Teachers, Lord Sothasil the Mages, Artificers, Wizards, Lord Vivek the Poet, Artists, Rogues, Saint Nereval the Captain, Warriors, Statesmen, and Saint Veloth the Pilgrim, Outcasts and Seekers. Lesser saints? Saint Felms the Bold, Saint Lothus the Pious, Saint Maris the Peacemaker, Saint Rorus the Martyr, Saint Aralor the Penitent, Saint Dilin the Wise, Saint Olms the Just, Saint Rilms the Barefooted, Saint Serin the Merciful. Bloody hell, there's quite a few of them, isn't there? So, about joining the temple then. You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join, or shall you hear our doctrine first? Yes, please. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you must speak with a master or the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. Still want to join? Decision time. Yes, I am worthy. You are now a layman in the temple. Welcome, Brother Fathersilvan. I am one of the several masters you can go to get your duties, and if you perform well, advancement in the temple is not out of the question. Alright. Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimages of the 7 graces. A book called The Pilgrim's Path describes many of the temple's pilgrimages and their shrines. Don't mind my dog in the background jingling his collar, if you can hear that. Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path. It describes where the pilgrimage sites are. After you've completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn you that while most of these are easy, The pilgrimages of the Shrine of Pride at Ghostgate and the Ruddy Man Shrine of Valor at Coal Cave are more difficult. You may wish to do those last. The others are the Shrine of Generosity, the Shrine of Courtesy, the Shrine of Daring, the Shrine of Humility, and the Shrine of Justice. Alright. So... okay. Well, apparently, if we want to prove ourselves, we've got to do a bunch of pilgrimages to a bunch of holy sites. But I guess you might offer me a discount now on things, yes? Possibly. Oh yeah, the temple does lots of spells. Free action. Cure paralyzation for 1 second on self. I always thought it funny how in this game they call it paralyzation, where I'm pretty sure it should be paralysis. Heal companion. Rest of St. Maris. Restore fatigue. Yeah, you know what, that's not bad actually. But again, I don't have restoration magic, so... bugger. What are you doing, dog? Oh, it's just fidgeting. He sat on my bed behind me at the moment, and he's just doing his usual doggish sort of thing, where he gets up and he walks around on the bed for a bit and then sits down again. Well, Pilgrim's Path. The pilgrim must visit each of the shrines of the 7 graces. At each site, the pilgrim must stand before the 3-sided stone triolith and read the inscription. To ease the pilgrim's task, the temple has made this list of shrines along with directions and advice to pilgrims. The blessings of each shrine last at least half a day. The Fields of Kumu, Shrine of Humility. Here, Lord Vivek met a poor farmer whose guar had died. The farmer could not harvest his muck without his guar, and he could not provide for his family or his village. So the Lord Vivek removed his fine clothes and toiled in the fields like a beast of burden until the crop was harvested. It is at the Fields of Kumu where we go to pray for the same humility Lord Vivek showed that day. The Fields of Kumu are west of Suran on the north shore of Lake Amaya as you head towards Pelagiad. The shrine is between 2 rocks and most easily noticed while travelling east along the road. Alof's farm nearby has a small dock on the north bank of Lake Amaya. This is the only dock nearby which Alof kindly allows servants of the temple to use. It is customary to leave a portion of muck at the shrine to represent Vivek's humility. Muck, by the way, is it's actually an alchemical ingredient called muck. It comes from these things called muck sponges, which are like giant mushrooms with gunk inside them. It's a bit weird, really, but we'll see one sooner or later. So yeah, in order to complete these pilgrimages, we need to leave some sort of item at the shrine in order to actually successfully do it. And there's 7 of the buggers, hence it being of the 7 graces. And they're dotted all over the world. It's a pretty good quest, actually, personally, because it's one of those ones which simultaneously introduces you to the big wide open world and also tells you a bit about the lore while you're at it. It's pretty good. It's one of my favourite quests, actually, and it's one of the best. To be honest with you, it's one of the best quests I think I've seen designed for an Elder Scrolls game, because it really kind of embraces the whole open world aspect in a way that a lot of it doesn't. A similar one, I suppose, would be the pilgrimages you have to make as part of the Knights of the Nine in Oblivion, which I always really enjoyed as well, actually, so... Anyway... So, the Fields of Kumu. Whoops. This, by the way, this is the ready magic key I just pressed by accident there. In the vanilla game, if you wanted to cast a spell, you had to press this first. So if you were holding a weapon, you had to put it away and get your hands out like this. Your jazz hands. And then you could cast a spell. The Morrowind code patch, however, has made it so that you can just cast spells on the fly, even if you're holding a weapon, kind of like you do in Oblivion. So that's what I've been using for the most part. It's ironic, I feel, that they actually went back to a system a bit like this in Skyrim, actually. Like, having to equip spells as if they were weapons. But anyway. Fucking beetle. Just gonna press page up a couple of times to get the recording doodad out of the way of the interface, which you guys can't see unless I'm on a loading screen. But yeah, Fields of Kumu are down here, so quite close by to Balmora, actually, to be fair. And since we've really got nothing better to do right now, we've handed in our latest set of notes to Caius. We've done a few things for the Fighters Guild, but not really interested in doing any more. We've been to the Morakton Guild Hall and come away with just a very obscure riddle. And all we know for sure is that the Morakton leader is somewhere in Vivek, and since we're not going to Vivek, really, right now, there's no point in buggering off all the way down there. This is Vivek, by the way, all these markers here, that's Vivek. The place is huge. We'll see it eventually, but not right now. So, to be honest with you, and since I'm not really doing any Mages Guild quests because there's nothing in it for me, we might as well do this, actually. We might as well get this first one knocked off the list. You know, if we can turn up to one of the great houses when we want to join them and say, look, I'm a Temple Faithful, I've done the Pilgrimage of the Seven Graces and everything, they're going to be far more inclined to let us join up, I think. Well, the only thing is this bloody weather. Let's drop a quick save because I don't think I have done one in a while. You know, if you could move out of the way, stranger, that would be appreciated. The NPCs. Yeah, 449 gold, which is a bit meh. But we've got lots of nice equipment. I think we're ready to do something like this. Head out into the wilds. I am still going to avoid those two gentlemen down by the river, mind you, but it doesn't really make a difference because this way is the quickest way anyway. If I've not read the map completely incorrectly anyway. So yeah. Been down this road a fair few bloody times by this point, haven't we? Hear me. If it could stop raining anytime soon, I'd appreciate it. Good time. It's the thunder more than anything else. It's very irritating. Hello. Chokeweed. We accidentally figured out that this stuff restores fatigue, so... Not a nice name, though, is it, to be fair? Chokeweed. Sounds like it ought to be poisonous. And I believe you want to go this way through the Foyada. Yeah, that's right, we're at Moonwolf Legion Fort right now, we go through the Fiada, and instead of going off to the right, like we normally do if we're on our way to Pelagiad, we turn left, which will take us along the northern shore of Lake Amaya, which is this here, this little body of water. We don't have any muck, I have to admit, but I reckon I can probably find some out in the wilderness somewhere. There's a lot of muck sponges around in the Ascadian Isles region anyway, so and that's where Lake Amaya is, so... Oh boy, we got the good old wooden cart.nif error, which I'm too lazy to fix, apparently. Still raining, even in the ashy bit here. Well, that was annoying, then do the whole walkout Balmora all over again, but on the bright side, look... The weather is changing, finally. Oh my goodness. Well. So. Good old Escadian Isles. Where the Weasure... The Weasure? Oh, really? One just last parting... Fuck you, really, from the weather. Thank you very much. Screw you. Anyway. Here we are. So, I wonder if it's... Probably not signposted, no. Uh-oh. Ah! Foul rat! Just a regular rat as well. Well, sod off, rat. I think we wish to go this sort of general direction, so let's go along here. I think. More cork bulb. Jolly good. Let's have some of that. Or not. Oh, there's another guar there. I wonder if this one's hostile. He might be, he might not be. He seems to be minding his own business. I wonder what that little fault thingy over there is about. Never seen that before. Yes, welcome to Lake Amaya. It's pretty big by Morrowind standards. Those over there, I believe, are in fact some muck sponges, so we're in luck. They always grow down by the water, so... cork bulb, come here. One cork bulb root. Good, good, good. Okay, it's a start at least. Nothing else. You can see the twin moons. Sort of fading through the atmosphere there. Aha! I think this was the this is the trialith in question. The Fields of Kumu Shrine. Here we go. Yeah. Right then. Well, let's not touch it until we've got our muck sponges. I guess maybe this is Elof's farmhouse that it mentioned in the book. Makes you wonder how long ago the book was published. Yeah, there it is, Elof's farmhouse. Now, who are you? You're a boat person. I wonder where you take people to. Probably just across there, actually, but... Dren Plantation and Saran. Okay. Well, don't really need to go to either of those places, but hey-ho. What I do need to do is get over there. Right, yeah, we should be able to get something out of at least one of these muck sponges, I think. I don't know if slaughterfish frequent freshwater lakes like this, but I'm going to go under the assumption that they do, and cast water walking. Let me just finish my coffee before it goes completely cold. I'm sick of this game crashing all the time, I really am. But what can you do? I went and fixed the whole wooden cart bollocks. And I fixed a couple of other things while I was at it. Yeah, it's a fucking slaughterfish right there. It's a jolly good thing I did cast that spell. Yeah, I fixed a few other things, and I've also turned off anti-aliasing in the Morrowind graphics extender, because I saw some reports when I did a Google search on the topic that apparently anti-aliasing can cause problems for some people with Morrowind, so, you know, who fucking knows, it's worth a try. Water walking. I've expected that to fail then, just to sort of rub everything in. But hey, water walking, yeah. Kind of miss that when I play Skyrim, to be honest. Especially when you've got stuff like Frostfall installed. I don't believe such a mod exists for Morrowind, like Frostfall, but I guess it doesn't really matter. 90% of Morrowind is a very sort of warm, temperate climate anyway. The only cold bits are Solstheim up there. So, you know. Muck Sponge. You don't have the tools to do anything with this. What? Since when was that a thing? What do I need, then? Bloody hell. Do I need like a muck shovel thing, whatever they're called? Oh. Oh shit. Oh god. Where's robe of alteration? There we go. That'll keep our magic ticking over slowly. Sorry, I just do not want to have my ankles nibbled off by slaughterfish. It's not happening. And it's a perfectly good excuse to practice my alteration skills, so... Anyway, well, I guess this guy's here. He could take us to Saran. I might be able to find a vendor with either a muck shovel thing, or some muck itself. A muck shovel, whatever it is, it's like a gigantic wooden spoon, and you'd see them lying around every now and again. They're just sort of, you know, generic clutter. They didn't do anything, but I think the mod must have made it so that I need one in order to get muck out of a muck sponge, which is right. Onwards we go in our great quest to find muck. The MuckQuest. Right then, well, hello, welcome to Saran. Saran is here. It's on the other side of Lake Amaya and all this sort of stuff, so Belanora's over there, Fields of Kumu Shrine's here. We're all the way over here now. I'm still in the same general neck of the woods, just a bit further east. Hello, Gila. Do you have any muck? No, you don't. You just have pots. You're useless, good sir. You are completely and utterly pointless. What is this? Outfitter. Outfitter. No, he's not going to have muck, I don't think. Just a wild stab in the dark there, but maybe a pawnbroker, but that's a bit of a stretch. Hello there. Ooh, nice gear. Silver spear, glass dagger, and a proper glass dagger as well. Ebony darts.
I can tell.
Got any muck? I need some muck. Me old chap. Nope. No muck. Bother. Never mind. There must be an alchemist around here somewhere. They'll surely have some muck. One can only hope, anyway. Oh, hello. Bula Gramuk. You are a scary-looking lady. I shall talk to you nonetheless. Pleased to meet you, Fathers. I am Bula Gramuk. New here? I'm sure you have some questions for me. Yeah, where did you get that bitch in armor? You're a Bula Gramuk warrior. Nereza Aethris found a rogue Telvanni base out in the middle of the Ashlands, but she used Almsevi intervention to escape. Now she doesn't know exactly where the base was. Good for her. Don't bother looking for a convenient system of bridges or ferries across the lakes and rivers. There aren't any. Except for that one guy we ran into, but if you're travelling the Ascadian Isles, be prepared to get wet or use magic to fly or walk across the waterways. Doesn't make much sense to me, does it, really? Why wouldn't you have, like, little ferries and gondolas and boats and things carrying people around? Ralds Oril, trader. Hello. Doesn't like he's got any muck either. Damn and blast it. Glass throwing knife, sweet. Oh, hello, what's that? Iron ladle, no, that won't do the job, I don't think.